Transformed logarithmic function. C3. True or false? Consider the function y equals to log x to answer these questions, right? So these are simple true and false questions, but the function to consider is y equals to log x. That means base is 10 here, okay? Now A. Horizontal stretch will change the position of x-intercept. I'd like you to read the questions and write down your answers, right? And then later check your answers. B. Vertical translation will change the vertical asymptote. True or false? C. Vertical and horizontal stretch will not change the position of x-intercept. D. Reflection on x-axis will change the domain of the function. E. Y-intercept of the function is at 1. F. X-intercept of the function is at 10. The function is y equals to log x. G. Horizontal stretch will change the position of the vertical asymptote. So these are the true and false questions. I'd like you to mark true and false and then look into my suggestions or answers. A. Horizontal stretch will change the position of x-intercept. Well, to answer these questions, what I will do, I'll just sketch the graph of log x here, right? So let me just sketch a graph here. It will help me to answer all these questions. So log x function will kind of look like this, right? Now, with reference to this diagram, let me answer all your questions, right? Now here, first one, horizontal stretch will change the position of x-intercept. That is the x-intercept, and for log x, that x-intercept will always be at 1, correct? That is the first thing, right? It is always at 1, right? Why is it at 1? Because anything to the power of 0 is 1. Do you understand? Anything to the power of 0 is 1. That is why it is 1. Now, horizontal stretch will change the position of x. So what will happen if I do horizontal stretch? Horizontal stretch will means like moving it away, right? So when I move it away, yes, it will be changed, correct? So that statement is true. Vertical translation will change the vertical asymptote. Well, here is the vertical asymptote for you, right? This is the vertical asymptote, correct? Now, if I do vertical translation of the graph, it still approaches infinity as x approaches 0, right? So nothing happens to this, and therefore this statement is false, right? So vertical translation will not change vertical asymptote. What changes vertical asymptote is horizontal translation, right? So if you just move left or right, then it will change. Vertical and horizontal stretch will not change the position of x-intercept. X-intercept will not change by vertical stretch because 0 times anything is 0, but horizontal stretch will change it. You have seen it already, right? So this statement is also false, since horizontal stretch will change, right? So the second half will change the position of x-intercept. Reflection on x-axis will change the domain of the function. So if I reflect it on x-axis, x-axis is this, right? It will kind of become like this, right? Domain remains same. It is a reflection on y-axis that will change, right? If I do y-axis reflection, then the domain changes, not when we are reflecting on x-axis, right? So this statement is also false. Now, y-intercept of the function is at 1. Well, y-intercept is never possible in log. This is for exponential function, not for logarithmic function, right? So this statement is also false, right? This is false. That is for exponential function, not for logarithmic function. X-intercept of the function is at 10. No, it is at 1, not at 10. At 10, the value is 1, correct? So this statement is also false. Horizontal stretch will change the position of vertical asymptote. Horizontally, if I stretch this function, well, nothing happens for the vertical asymptote. So this statement is also false. Okay, so these are the answers for the given questions. Thank you.